Whoo-wee, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day, the House of Legends. So today is Budget Bowie Day, Budget Bowie Day. So we are doing a budget buoy. I got this thing sitting around, just sitting around, hasn't been doing anything. It's a Confederate soldier type buoy is what they're calling it. It's actually the Frost Cutlery A-04 or A-04PW, and it looks like the model is FCSA-04PW, where all you really have to do is type in that though, and you will get it. You will get it. So I've had this thing sitting around for a long time. It's got a nice box cover. I'm a northern guy, so you know this is my rep right here. I don't have anything against these guys here though. But I have to say it's nice looking. I think that's it's done up pretty well. It's probably nicer looking than the knife. Let's really get a good look at it. So right away I can tell you from opening the box, this sheath sucks. It is opening the box. It is not a very pleasant sight. The stain is nice, right? It's full tang, it's pinned, and the stain, I have to say, it's pretty. It's got a nice color. It's really shiny, which probably means slick, although not so bad. We'll figure it out. It's got brass pins. Let's see. This sheath is garbage. This is one of those, it takes 6 cents to make, so let's just throw it in there. Keep the knife price down, and the knife price is way down. I see it on the Knife Country USA, and it's just because the first thing I pulled up, and it's 20 bucks, right? So 20 bucks. So here you can see it's got the flags right there. It's a little dark on this one. You can barely see what it is, but at least you can get an idea. It's cold. That's why it's got all that look. Normally it would be a lot cleaner than that. It would be polished just like that, but being cold, I could just wipe that off and it would be okay. It is what it is. It's like a classic clip point buoy. That's it. The grind, the bevel here is really short, so you're going to get a lot of meat in this blade, and a really short bevel here. But it is a hollow tang. I mean, a hollow grind, hollow tang. That's this part, dumbass. It's a hollow grind, and I don't know how much we can trust hitting, so we have to be careful when we hit, because being hollow, it's very easy to chip. So let's look at this. It's got a packerwood handle. It's 15 3/4 inches overall with a 10-inch satin finished blade. Brass guard, full tang, da-da-da-da-da. Wonderful, wonderful nylon sheath. So that's it. It is what it is. 10-inch blade. Not bad. I mean, if you like a good clip point buoy, then you're going to look at it and you go, well, at least it's good looking. But does good looking translate to good working? That's what we need to find out. Is it sharp? All right. Well, I didn't expect that. Hold on, let's see if I can get all these hairs up here. I didn't expect to, and it looks like just dander and stuff, but that's hair. That's hair right there. Is it like crazy shave sharp where it's going to make you butter smooth? No, you're going to rip up some skin, but it's shave sharp. It took off hair. So, all right, that's win one, I guess. So, I don't know what the thickness is, maybe 1/8. It's not overly thick, but it is an unswedged tip. And what that means is, at least, if anything, it should have more strength on the top side, on the clip. So that should be okay. The grind does follow through, kind of like a scanty grind right here where it comes up. But then it is hollow from here to here. So again, you got to be careful. Prying is probably something you don't want to do. And if you're going to hack, remember with a hollow grind, especially when you chop, if you chop straight up, straight down, you're going to do fine with a hollow grind. But if you chop and your knife gets stuck in there and then you try to wiggle it out, it's that twisting while it's buried into wood that chips blade. So a lot of people chip hollow grinds and they blame it on the grind when really it's your own fault because you don't know how to swing a knife. And that's the absolute truth. If you chip a hollow grind hitting straight down and straight back, then there's something wrong with the knife. But I guarantee you that's not happening. If you chipped a hollow grind, it's because you swung wrong and you are just never going to admit it. So we'll even, example, we have this corner here, right? If I go like this, right, and I hit that corner and it gets stuck and I twist it and pull it, if that's a piece of wood and it's really in there, it's going to snap. When you hit, you need to come up and down, up and down. So never, ever twist out a hollow grind. It's just basic knife knowledge 101. All right, we're not going to spend a lot of time talking about it. We're just going to get out there. Now it's freezing cold. It's windy. It sucks. And my jacket's upstairs, so I'm just going to try and muscle it out and see what we can do. And we'll get a little swinging on this thing. Let's go. All right, so it's pretty windy. I don't know if you can see it, but that big flag right there, that flag is huge. It's a huge flag. And that thing is blowing straight out. Straight out. So with any luck, the camera won't be blowing down every 10 seconds, but we will find out. So let's start at the stump here, and then we'll mosey on to other stuff. Let me make sure I'm in because I can't really see anything. All right, so let's start with some 4-foot drops, 4 feet from the tip to the stump. Woo! That wind, did you see that? This is a big, heavy knife, and that wind blew it sideways. Do a couple hard downward throws. Oh, you hear that rattling already? That's loosening of the guard. Loosening of the guard. Bam! You can hear that right away. I'll tell you what, it's got some crazy good bite though. The scales didn't loosen at all, and that's really what we want to check. But this, I don't know if you can hear it. Well, I can hear it. I don't know if it's going to pick up on your end. But absolutely the guard immediately just loosened. It's a 12-inch throw and I missed. Immediately loosened. Let's start with a puncture of the tire. That was no problem. And that's a good thing about these long clip points is you are going to always get good puncturing. Let's try a 1/2-inch nylon rope. Oh, I'll tell you what, for whatever downfalls this thing might have, it came pretty sharp. It cut up some hair, and that's a straight push cut. That's not so bad. Let's try a leather belt. Last time I was out here, this thing was frozen solid. Make sure the dogs are in the yard. All right, let's see. Look at that. Look at that. That's 4 layers of rubber straight freaking through. Come over here and we will see. Oh, can this big thing be our survival knife? Let's see. It is it's having no problem feathering. They're all falling off, but that's because I just keep running into them. But you can see right here, the ones that aren't falling off are looking pretty good. They're looking pretty good. Now let's see if we got to make tent spikes, pit spikes, things like that. Things of that nature. No problem. Especially even if you're making a shelter. And let's say you're making a lean-to and you don't have trees to lean them against, like they're in a proper distance. So you got to bury a couple sticks to get your lean-to built. Making a nice tip like this is going to help you get that piece of wood into the ground where it needs to be. And that's an important thing. And just doing a little tap like this, getting down that edge, so now I can just sharpen it up the way I need it, and voila. So if I'm gonna make my lean-to and this is a full stick, I can take it and I can pound it into the ground, boom, 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 and you're gonna be okay. So that works out really, really well. Let's do some pulls and see what we can do with a side grip here. Oh my gosh, those baby curls, those make great fire starter. Those make great fluff. Now this piece of wood right here is very dry, so that's why they're falling off so easily. But you can see that, I mean, those tight, sweet little curls, that's pretty big time. Let's give it a good shot. Oh, see, that thing came right back and hit me in the chest, but luckily I'm a man, baby. So far, so good. Let's find something to baton through. Ooh, it is definitely not t-shirt weather. All right, let's bring you guys up just a little bit here. Let's bring you up a little bit, get you to play. All right. Had to break this free. It was frozen to the ground. Frozen to the ground. But I'm still out here with you. All right, here we go. Now, being a hollow tang, I keep saying hollow tang. Being a hollow grind, it's not exactly your big batoning knife, and I get that. But survival situations are survival situations, and if it needs to be done, it needs to be done. Especially if you're making a shelter or a fire. Let's see. It's having no problem getting through. I'm just babying it because of the fact that it has a thin edge profile. There we go. Give it a couple shots down there and see what happens. Woo! It is cold. It is damn cold. Let's actually, instead of hit the knife, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the log, try and back it up onto the blade. I am just getting windy. Ugh. I got my baton stuck in the tip. So I'm getting stuck at the knots. So far, however, I'm not getting any loosening in the handles, and I haven't broken the tip. So there's good and bad, you know what I mean? I've got to be semi-cautious of the edge. Let's see. Ugh. Man, that thing is in there. There we go. There we go. So far, it's holding together. I give it that. Oh yeah, baby. Wow, it's taken a little bit of time to get through this thing. That is faux show. And I would love to be able to hit back here. The problem is the guard. What I can do is try and hit on the handle without breaking it. And then you squeeze a little bit of space up. I just absolutely crushed the guard. That's okay. That's okay. It's not needed. See what I did to it there? Crushed it down forward. Now it's almost like a spine protector, like you see on the Musos. So I'm all the way through this thing, but I am frozen solid. Frozen. Man, it's taking a beating. I am just in those knots so solidly. Let's see if we can't use a piece to open this thing up. There we go. There we go. Woo! This is going to be a review on a piece of wood too. There we go. Sometimes you just need to wedge it. If your knife gets stuck, use a piece of wood, find that little slit that you started, and get in there. Just get in there. Holy mackerel. And I didn't, because I hit nice and straight, I didn't ruin that. Feeling for any warping, there is none. Maybe a little bubble. I did. I got a little warp right here. I can feel it. So here we go. There's two of them. Let's see if I can catch it in the light. Not sure, but there's one here and one here. Warping, and that's from hitting dead smack on a knot. So if I can hold it this way, see that little dip right there? I can't see in the camera, so I'm just gonna wonder if it's in there. But you can see right here, completely crushed the guard. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna finish it. And now the guard A becomes a piece for the thumb. It's actually better. But now it's usable. So now I can come across, Now my side grip I can actually hold anywhere I want. That's not so bad. If I really want to get good with it, what I can do is heat it up a little bit downstairs and then hammer it around, and it will give me a connected spine guard, which would be really nice. But all in all, it did warp. All right, and this is the difference between budget buoys and you know, big time knives, is something like that probably wouldn't have warped. Oh yeah, you can definitely see it right there. It wouldn't have warped a really good steel. Now I'm missing one dog, I think. I don't know where he is. Bigsby! He's somewhere around here. Somewhere. I don't know. We got Roscoe, who's always the one getting yelled at. But not lately. Lately, Bigsby's like dog on a mission. He just thinks he can do whatever the hell he wants. All right, so let's get over here because I'm freezing. I want to hurry up. Let's get over here and do some chopping. That damn dog. That dog of mine. All right, so. Oh, it's frozen to the ground. There we go. Man. All right, so let's hit this guy. There we go. So now I'm being calculated with my cuts due to the grind. And even though it's warped, that's not going to change things like chopping. It's not going to change it at all. So it's hitting it. It's hitting this frozen piece of wood. You can really hear that. That's loosening up a lot. And so far, aside from the warping and the loosening of the guard, not really having any issues or any major damages. You could see that, but it hasn't changed the edge. The edge is still good beyond the warp, but it's still warped. That means it's cheap, right? It's just cheap. That means the heat treat wasn't done very good. Oh man, I really have no idea where this damn dog went. Like, I have no idea. Let me go find him. All right, Shelly came home and let him in. I had no idea. Let's see if we can't get a stick in the old mulch pile. First try, I have to say, that throws nicely. Let's see. Oh, same spot. Woo! I'll tell you, this could be a fun throwing buoy. Oh my God. Ugh. All right, so 3 throws all in a rows. First try. All right, so I mean, it is what it is. If you're looking for a cheap, and I mean cheap, buoy, just like a little budget buoy that you can swing and have fun with, this will definitely do it. Do I recommend batoning through knots in a tree? No, not at all. It's definitely going to warp it. Here's what this blade is. This blade is your go hiking with, keep yourself safe with type of thing. It's just going to be that extra little piece of protection that you might have needed, you know, to maybe make you feel good. If all of a sudden you're out and you got something coming at you, having something in your hand is better than nothing. And this would definitely help. I do actually like the guard down more, and I think what I'm going to do is probably heat it just a little bit and then take the hammer and dink, 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 give it some light taps, because brass is going to fold really easy. I'm going to fold that around the spine, and I'm going to have that little spine protector right there, but it's comfortable for the thumb. Even as wide as it is, it's like literally perfect thumb width. So who knows, maybe I'll just flatten it without curling the edges. I don't know. But all in all, it is what it is. It's a $20 knife. That's probably good for 12 bucks. But does it work? Yeah, absolutely. The handles, I'm really surprised after banging on these that they didn't loosen. That says a little something. The steel, aside from this right here, nothing really happened. I thought it was 2 warps, but I think it's just 1 right here, unless there's a little, yeah, no, there's a little one right there. That's where it is. I know I felt, see that little bit right there? So here's one. And literally, if I wasn't batoning through knots, that wouldn't even happen. So is that partial user, partial steel? I mean, the heat treat is definitely the problem, but no chipping. No chipping. So the heat treat, if it was harder, if they heat treated it properly, rather than warping, this thing may have chipped. But because it's not heat treated all that great, it's a little bit softer, and because it was softer, it was able to bend. And if I wanted, I could easily just take a little hammer, put this down on some steel, and tap, 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 and make it flat, heat it up a little bit. And then I'd have to just reheat treat it and temper it, but I could make it straight. Or what I could do is literally just grind and take it right up, and then I could bring it up here, take away half of that edge, so I'd make it a more narrow knife, but right there is the top of that warp. I could come all the way to the top of that and then change this line right here. There's so much you could do. That's the good thing about a cheap Bowie, is if you get something like a warp or a chip or something like that, who cares? It's easy to just grind down and re-profile the knife and turning it into a completely different knife. I could turn it into a almost like a recurve type hunter. You can do anything you want with these damn things, and that's the good thing about it. But if this is like a first knife for somebody, like if my kid's first big Bowie, if this is just something you like to collect cool looking knives and you wanted to hang on the wall, well, the S-Guard is still good. That's fine. Self-defense, home defense, things like that, that's fine. Is this your survival knife? Not really. Can you survive with it? Absolutely. Cavemen survived with sharpened sticks and rocks. You can survive with this, I guarantee it. All right, so that's it. I'm really cold. I'm going to go inside. I am Donnie B all day. Till next knife.